everyone. I'm Dr. Harlow, the founder of Online Art Teachers K-12 and a co-director with Bob Reeker. I wanted to just make a video for you today to encourage you as 2021 winds down and comes to an end. You know, Online Art Teachers started on March 12th of 2020 in direct response to the panic that teachers were feeling up in Washington State when COVID first appeared on our shores. And we jumped into action to help our profession. We knew that there were going to be difficult days ahead for a profession like ours that can tend to confuse school administration about what to do with it in normal times. And I just knew that the tactile nature of art was going to make it more challenging for teachers to make the shift to remote and hybrid learning. And also, not all schools were into digital art yet. And so we knew that there was going to be a broad range of issues for art teachers across the country to work through. And we certainly didn't want to see art education programs on the chopping block, as they were almost immediately. There was one major city that just stopped all visual arts classes in the entire district. It was a very large metropolitan city. So we jumped into action to help all of you. And in the beginning, I made these videos to encourage you. The very first one I made sitting in my house in March of 2020, and just wanted to encourage you that we can do this together. We can figure this out together, and we can do it together. And then I made videos probably every couple of weeks for quite a long time. Then Bob Reeker came on board as co-director, and Bob and I began taking turns making videos to encourage you. We're not really sure how many of you watched those videos. Maybe a lot of you did, and maybe a lot of you didn't, but they were there and they were heartfelt from us to encourage you. We slowed down a little bit this particular school year. Online Art Teachers is not for online art teachers. Online Art Teachers is a group of art teachers working collaboratively and together for the good of art education. We're online here on Facebook, on our website. We're working together. We have a Google Drive with resources. We're working together for the future of art education. Many of us are NAEA members, some of us are not, but together we, I think, have done an incredible job of keeping art education alive through this pandemic. Boy, was that a metaphor of words. Also, I thought it was about time to make another one of these videos again. And today I just want to encourage you all again, but really from a different perspective. We're hearing a lot about mental health these days. And honestly, I've known for months that mental health was an issue with our students. I think we're seeing something a little bit like PTSD in our students and our colleagues. I raised this issue several months ago with my administration where I work, wanted to jump out in front of that. And there's so much we need to do in education to address mental health. I hope that across the country, we're going to start hearing some things that are going on in your district as far as professional development, perhaps some curriculum or some resource your school is bringing in, possibly through your counselor, to be administrated throughout the classes of students within the school. And something else I think that we can always do when times are tough is we can turn our focus off of ourselves and on to others. Research proves that in therapy that a focus on others is a really effective way to turn around all of the problems that we are facing within our own selves and our own lives. We need to validate our feelings, our colleagues' feelings, our students' feelings, of course. We need to validate everyone's feelings and listen and help and reach out and help. But we also need to find a way to start focusing on good. So the first thing we hope is that you all are getting a semester break. I know here in the United States, schools typically do have a semester break the end of December, 1st of January. I don't know about our schools across the country. I know some of you that operate on certain systems do have a semester break, but some of you may not. Anyway, we hope that you get a semester break, and we hope that you get to rest and relax, that you get a respite from how challenging the semester has been, the fatigue, student behavior, just resting up yourself and taking care of yourself. You and your family have been through a lot in the last 21 months. And so the first thing we hope is that you get a break. And on that break, we hope that you will shut the computer off. I know how dedicated teachers are. And I know that often on our breaks from students, that's when we get our creative juices going and we come up with all kinds of ideas and we want to sit down at the computer and get to work on them. But I really hope you'll shut your devices off, and I hope that you will take a break. Bob Rieker is going to announce soon that OATK12 is going to archive for 2 weeks, not because we don't want the group to be available to you, but because we know that that you need a break from social media too. So I guess we're being teachers for the teachers, so to speak. We also hope that you'll do some things that renew you, that make you happy, that bring you joy, whether that's spending time with family or cooking and baking in the kitchen or getting out and going for hikes or whatever it is that brings you joy. Maybe it's just lighting some candles around the house and watching the lights glow around the house. It could be anything, but we hope that you will give yourself some TLC because we know it's good for you and you know it's good for you. And then somewhere in the back of your mind, I hope that you'll begin thinking about some goodness that you can bring to your school communities in and through your art classes and art education. Think of a service project that you can do with your students, a way that you can help your students focus on something good, turn their attention away from anxiety, turn their attention away from what's causing them to act out with behavior issues, and help them focus on doing something good for others. I know how often this works. In my career, 28 years now, every year of school, my students have reached out and done some kind of a community service project. And then probably in the last 8 years, I started teaching service learning and exactly what that is to my future teachers so that they would then in turn go out in their classrooms and use the amazing resources that we have in art education to reach out into the community and do some really good things for our communities, even just if it's our school building or our district office or our local community. Or a national organization, partner with a nonprofit organization and do some really cool things. They can be art-based and have some fun with that. And I think you'll feel like you're doing something good for someone else. It's a really good feeling. I've had this feeling many times, and it's a great way to overcome life's challenges. And so most of all, I just want to commend you all for the extreme roller coaster you've been on for 21 months. I know it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy for me either. We are human beings. And we are living this pandemic. We're taking care of our family and our close friends that have had struggles throughout the pandemic. We're taking care of ourselves, possibly our children and our spouses and partners. So we've had a lot to do personally. And then we have within our school buildings every day students who do bring everything going on in their lives to school. All of my research in my career has been in the area of social emotional learning. I have yet to get some of that published because I've been working on getting other things published, but I'm looking forward to doing that. I find that the school art classroom is a great place to focus in on some of CASEL's, CASEL, CASEL.org, focus in on some of their pillars of social emotional learning. And we don't have to address all of them. Just pick one and see what kind of art themed projects you can come up. In my art classroom, my art units always had a theme. They always had a curricular integration, and they were always built out, as Dr. Judith Simpson at Boston University called them. It was called elegant learning in my master's degree program with Dr. Simpson. And I'm not sure that word has caught on all across the United States, but boy, I've never forgot Dr. Simpson teaching us to build out those units with themes and curricular integrations and to bring in all kinds of resources. We love teaching art for art's sake, but we have the power and potential within art education to use art to teach our students so much more about life. If you have struggled in 2021, we understand. If you have struggled since the pandemic started, we understand. If you feel like you had a pretty good year in 2021, that's incredible. And we are happy for you. And share that goodness on the OATK12 Facebook page. Most of all, we want you to all catch a breath, relax, and we want you to embrace 2022 with the vigor and rigor and persistence, sustainability, and the resolve and the strength that we know art educators have. We've always had to have it. Maybe now's the time for us to show our other colleagues how to have it too. Take care, everyone. Happy holidays and happy new year in 2022.